In the heart of a vast, gleaming city where the skyline pierced the heavens and the streets never slept, lived a man named Kenjiro Sato. He was not from the city. In fact, he was not even from the country. Kenjiro had traveled far, leaving behind the cherry blossoms of Kyoto to seek something modern and unknown. Work had brought him here, but it was something deeper that made him stay, a quiet question he could not answer. How can one be surrounded by people and still feel so alone? Every day, he moved through crowded subway cars, nodded politely in office meetings, and stared out his high-rise window at a world that pulsed with connection, yet none of it touched him. One rainy evening, after a particularly gray day, Kenjiro stepped into a quiet tea house tucked between two glass towers. It was owned by an old Korean monk named Jiho, who had abandoned temple life for the city many years ago. The tea house was simple wooden floors, paper lanterns, a single bamboo plant, and somehow, it felt like it breathed. "You look heavy," Jiho said, serving him a cup of jasmine tea. Kenjiro smiled faintly. "Just tired." "From people?" Kenjiro blinked. "From not having them." The monk sat beside him in silence for a long time. Then he spoke, not looking at Kenjiro. "Loneliness is a misunderstanding," he said. "Most think it is the absence of others, but often, it is the absence of yourself." Kenjiro frowned. "But I am always with myself." Jiho sipped his tea. "Are you? Or are you only with your thoughts about what is missing?" That night, Kenjiro returned to his apartment and turned off everything: the TV, the music, the glowing phone. He sat in silence. It was louder than he expected. He tried it again the next night. And the next, he began walking the city with no destination. He watched birds make nests under street lamps. He noticed an old man feeding stray cats at 3 a.m. He stood beneath neon signs blinking over empty sidewalks and learned their rhythms. He found stillness in motion. In that stillness, something shifted. Kenjiro no longer saw solitude as an exile. It became a mirror, one that showed him the taste of his own thoughts, the texture of his feelings, the shape of his spirit. He wrote poems no one would read. He danced in his kitchen. He laughed out loud at dreams he'd forgotten. Slowly, he filled his own company with color. Weeks later, he returned to Jiho. "I think I understand now," Kenjiro said. "Being alone is not the same as being lonely." Jiho nodded. "When you become enough for yourself, the world begins to visit you differently." From then on, Kenjiro still walked the city alone, but he was never lonely. He had befriended the silence within him. And that, he learned, was where true companionship begins. Moral: to be alone is a practice. Loneliness fades when we meet ourselves fully, without needing anyone else to do it for us.